Who are my speakers today? Mike, Snigdha, Gene. Mike has volunteered to go first. He's all set up. Who would like to go second? Gene, is that all right with you? You'll go third? All right. Come on up, Mike. All right, let's listen to Mike because he's about to begin.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about an article I read by Sean Acker called Positive Intelligence. And a little background on Sean. He's the founder and CEO of Good Thing, which is a corporate strategic firm founded in like 2007 or something. He's conducted over 225 academic studies, most of which occurred at Yale University in original psychological studies. And he's also the author of a book called The Happiness Advantage, which he references to quite frequently in the article. His main point is that happiness and productivity are very directly correlated in that employers who encourage positivity from employees tend to get better productivity out of them, because employers who are constantly sending memos like of daily business agendas and other stressful emails tend to increase anxiety levels in an office, and actually has a counter effect, which activates the part of the brain that thinks of them as like threats and not problems that need to be solved. He gives 3 strategies to eliminate or deal with stress. They are develop new habits, help your coworkers, and actually changing how you look at and deal with stress. First of which, he did a survey at KPMG for 3 weeks after the tax season in December of 2008, which was one of their worst in decades at the time. And tax managers were just totally almost depressed in a way. And he wanted to prove that positive exercises can indeed lead to happiness, which, again, backs up his productivity claim. He asked them to complete one of several daily activities for 3 weeks, things like jotting down 3 things you're grateful for, sending positive memos, and like exercising for 10 minutes, or even meditating for 2 minutes at your desk. And he argued that by doing this, you'll have more happiness. And after 3 weeks, he evaluated them on what's called a life satisfactory scale, which is commonly accepted for determining employee engagement and overall satisfaction of employment and well-being. He determined that after 3 weeks, the employees who followed this program were actually happier and more likely to come to work, prepared to make meaningful contributions, versus a control group who didn't, were actually unhappy and stayed home more at like 1.25 times the rate, which equates to about 15 unproductive days a year. So that's pretty significant. And he relates it to how those 15 days affects the bottom line of the company's income statement. The next one is helping your coworkers. This ties in with the first one, because he says that one of the most important activities that you can choose from in that experiment, sending positive messages, is probably the most important activity, because it creates a strong social support that correlates with the productive desire that you're trying to get. One example of this is another survey he did at Ochsner Health System called the 10-5 rule, where he instructed over 11,000 physicians and employees about how when you come within 10 feet of another person, you should smile and make eye contact. When you come within 5 feet, you should say hello to them. And this resulted not only in happier employees, but also they received better customer satisfaction and that they were more likely to receive positive feedback, and they were more likely to recommend that hospital to their friends and family, which again leads to bottom line impact. So it has positive impact there, and also, he backed it up by saying that at the end of 3 weeks, again, he noticed that they received a 5% increase in unique hospital visits. So happiness definitely does impact in that regard. The final key to happiness is that stress is inevitable. So instead of trying to avoid it and making it seem like an obstacle in your head, you should make it a point to actually tackle stresses that you can control in pieces, so that over time you're constantly improving yourself and growing. So don't stress about being stressed. And at a UBS banking firm, he showed 2 videos, one to separate groups of managers. One showed how detrimental the effects of like stress has on the body and mind, and how it's like if you're stressed out, you're unproductive and all. And the other was how stress can actually enhance the body and mind, and the results of that showed that those who watched the video that portrayed stress as an enhancer actually ended up being physically healthier, as well as more happy to come into work and be productive. And so you have to use it as a fuel for growth by making a list of things that you can control versus things you can't, and trying to eliminate one at a time the things you can to grow as an individual, which makes you happy to come into work. So overall, happiness definitely improves the chances of success if you try to take positive actions, trying to develop new habits to constantly rewire how your brain works and actually views work and life in general. Having a strong social support, and actually changing how you view stress and trying to tackle it instead of avoiding it. And overall, this can lead to long-term happiness, which he proves has an impact on the bottom line. So that's all. Thank you. Any questions?
Mike, did you find the article convincing?
I did find it convincing, mostly because he has probably a lot more experience than I do, so I can't really argue that. Yeah.
So anyone who has a lot more experience?
Well, at Yale University, so,
Okay.
you know.
All right. Thank you.